If you are a web developer, analyst, marketer, or an agency, setting up marketing and analytics website tags is something that you'd love to farm out to somebody else. Well, today we'll get it sorted out. What's going on, guys? This is Val from PitchGround. For the vast majority of us, ordinary mortals, website tag management is a rocket science. You need to spend hours and hours to get all that working, struggling with the code, endless errors, and bothering guys from your tech department every now and then. Imagine you have to track a lead form on your website. How do you do that? First, you got data layer snippet offline. Then you go to Google Tag Manager and set up tags and triggers. Then you run the QA session. And finally, publishing it live. And of course, it will take tons of time debugging those tags. Now you have to apply all that again and again to other events like video views, navigation page, etc. Now multiply all this by the number of your websites and you nearly have a full-time job position. Tagmate is a simple yet powerful tag management platform that helps you automate the implementation of tracking tags on your website. It eliminates the hassle and expense of manual tagging while allowing marketing agencies to create and manage campaigns much more efficiently. Tagmate solves the headache of long and expensive website tagging cycles for website owners and marketing agencies by enabling them just click and configure UI platform to track their website fast, accurately, and with the least tag dependency. Marketing agencies, website owners, and analysts can now efficiently and accurately tag, track, and monitor their websites with Tagmate for platforms like Google Analytics 4, Google Ads, Facebook ads, and more in low-code click and configure UI setup. You won't need to pay lots of cash to someone for these services from now on. You might know that Google Universal Analytics will stop working by July 2023, as Google says. With Tagmate, you save up to 82% on development costs when moving from Google Universal Analytics to Google Analytics 4. So hurry up to get your lifetime deal for Tagmate on PitchGround.com. That's pretty much it, guys. Let's keep growing, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Here we start.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this live webinar. If you're watching it in replay, do not forget to check it out, the lifetime deal of Tagmate on pitchground.com. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in for yet another episode of PitchGround Product Webinars, where we bring in amazing products. And this webinar is all about another incredible tool. So stay tuned. I'm very much excited for the today's webinar. If you are also excited like me, just share the fire emoji in the chat box so that we'll also know that you're also excited like us, because in this webinar, we'll be sharing some insightful information on how you can supercharge your Google Analytics 4 tracking setup with no code event tracking with Tagmate's Chrome extension. So guys, without further ado, let me welcome our guest, Mr. Bismay, Head of Product Tagmate. Bismay, we would like to hear about your company, team, and Tagmate journey before we dive into it. That would be fantastic.
Sure. Thanks, Swapnil, for the kind introduction. Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I hope I'll not try to bore you over the next 45 minutes or so. We'll talk about some actual issues and solutions to those issues related to MarTech on marketing automation and website tagging and stuff, right? I currently work in an agency. It's a Google partner agency. The name is Tattvik Analytics, right? And we have developed a product over the last 2 years, which we are calling it as Tagmate. As the name suggests, it's like your companion for your website tagging solutions, any kind of analytics tracking or marketing pixel conversion tracking. Tagmate is the solution where in the space of no-code, low-code tools, this is another assistant for you. Anybody who understands a little bit about Google Analytics 4 event setup, or let's say Facebook ads pixel setup, right? They would know that there is still a lot of complexity or technicalities in building, building that code base or setting up all those tags, triggers in Google Tag Manager, which is another solution, right? What we have done basically over the last, I would say, 18 months or so of this journey, where the first 607 months went in development, complete development of particular modules, right, of the product. I would say that then this product would be the answer to in terms of low code, no code solution of tagging of your websites, right? We launched back in October of 2021, and now we have been live on PitchGround for about like 2.5 months now, and received a lot of I would say favorable response in terms of 5-star reviews and sales, as well as feedback coming in from customers and in terms of suggestions, in terms of improvements, in terms of also bugs where there are certain bugs, and we have been able to stabilize the product and with our support, right? So it's a small team, I would say. Still, we're like 15 members strong with engineering, growth people, and the product team itself. I am a part of I kind of lead the team right now, and we are trying to build our product. The vision is competitive. We want to, and I would say ambitious, because we want to make it a first-party data collection or a first-party data tracking tool for all your first-party data platforms, be it Google platforms, Facebook platforms, Snapchat, TikTok, Amazon, any kind of your platforms, wherever we are able to track first-party data or your own user data. Tagmate should be the low-code, no-code solution there, where you have limited dependency on your developers. I will not say that you will not be dependent, but yes, rather than being dependent for 20 hours, can you do all of the stuff in less than 2 hours? That's the value proposition that we are kind of bringing in, and we are kind of democratizing the use of something like a product like a Google Tag Manager. Honestly, if you ask me 2 years back, I never had opened the UI of Google Tag Manager, right? So for me also, I went through the phase of learning, and as we started building our product on top of the Google Tag Manager and Google Analytics 4 and so on and so forth, right? Yeah. Thanks again for joining in. I hope you will get the best out of this next 45 minutes in terms of our product and the solution to your problems. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Bismay, for sharing about your company, about your team, and about your vision, right? And guys, Tagmate helps you to automate the implementation of tracking tags on your website. It eliminates the hassle of expense of manual tagging while allowing marketing agencies to create and manage campaigns more efficiently, because it helps you to save 82% of the development time when implementing tagging tracks, right? Because you are the marketer, you're using Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager, and the hassle of tagging and tracking everything, right? So this is a no-code solution will give you complete control over your tag management without needing any developer or without needing any special skills. So I think so it's time to dive into the product itself. We are really excited to learn more about it. Bismay, if you can share your screen and just showcase the product to everyone, that would be great.
Yeah, great. Okay, as usual, all presentations, all webinar starts with a presentation. Could you please confirm if the presentation is visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, great. Thank you. Right. Yeah, so last month, I think just about a month ago, Swapnil and I were in another webinar. We were hosting another webinar on one of our Tagmate products. So this is a sequel to that particular webinar, I would say. The first webinar was about Tagmate's application, which basically enables anybody to set up form submissions, to set up e-commerce implementations for their website, to set up video tracking, to client ID tracking, user ID tracking, data layer implementations, and so on and so forth, right? There you would need 20% requirement of your developers, and 80% has been automated. And today, for today's webinar, we are kind of going to take you through another product of ours, which is Tagmate's Chrome extension, which is live on the Chrome store. You can just search for Tagmate Tracker, or just only Tagmate in the Chrome store, and you would find us there. This is a no-code, event tracking solution, which we have made it compatible for Universal Analytics as well as Google Analytics 4. Right, we were one of the first in the industry to kind of support GFO back in month of November and December 2021. Right, so here you go. So today's discussion, I will take about 20 minutes majorly for the demo, because that's where the meat is. The rest of the stuff is somewhat generic, and there would be a couple of problem statements that I'm going to discuss, like custom events, manual tagging complexities, and after Tagmate, how the solution looks like, right? And at the end, we will talk through the roadmap that we have. The roadmap isn't going to change since the last webinar, obviously, because we are all committed to build it into an enterprise tagging solution, right? So here we go. So let's first understand GFO. I think I'll take the least amount of time in this section. Why is GFO good for you? A lot of you would have already known that Universal Analytics, or the existing version of Google Analytics that you would have set up on your websites, that's going to end back down in June 2023, right? That's about less than a year now. So Google has mandated that everybody has to migrate to Google Analytics 4, the new version. And why is that important? Because these are the four, I would say the USPs of Google Analytics 4, where we are talking about cross-platform journey. In Universal Analytics, you would not know if the same user was visiting your website and your app, but GFO is going to give you that answer in terms of cross-platform tracking across your web and your application and your M site, right? ML capabilities. Now, in the era of data science and machine learning, we have a lot of this powerful models that we can build on top of our data that we're collecting in GA, right? But for that, you would need a data scientist to help you clean the data, build models on it, deploy it, and then you get that, let's say, example is find out an audience list, which you can remarket in your Google campaigns or Facebook campaigns. GA4 has some of these ML capabilities inbuilt within them, where you can just on a single click, just like Tagmate does no code, GA4 also does no code, ML segmentations. Data integrations, again, where we are talking about online medium and offline medium, where there are e-commerce players, and then there are, hybrid commerce players, like where they have e-commerce setups as well as shop-based setups and CRM data, which sits in different silos previously. That integration is far more easier with GA4. And finally, for every marketing agency, for marketers, GA4 obviously is a treasure of wealth in terms of data sets that you are collecting once you run your marketing campaigns, and you're looking at ROIs on your marketing platforms and also on GA4, which gives you a whole length of behavioral data. So GA4 has this activations with all kinds of GMP tools, which is like Google Ads, DV360, Display and Video 360, which is a DSP, and Optimize, which is an A/B testing tool, and so on and so forth, right? So before jumping in, I would say, what are events basically, right? There are like multiple sets of events when somebody lands on a website. When the user interacts across the website, let's say there are there are forms on your website which the user would fill in. There are add to cart when they would add the products to cart, and then there would be a purchase that will happen at the end, or let's say somebody will sign in onto your website, right? Now, all of this in the language of Google Analytics obviously are called events, right? So in GA4, there are basically 4 types of events that you can bucketize. The first one is the automatically capture, which is, for example, is session_start or first_visit or user_engagement. Now, such kind of events, you don't need to write a single piece of code. Once you set up GA4, this data starts getting captured in your Google Analytics, and you can have some data available on in your reporting, just like in your universal analytics page view was a default tracking that was available, right? The second is enhanced measurement. Now this, as the term suggests, there are certain events that GA4 has enabled you in terms of no code, where you just have to click them, like scroll tracking or outbound clicks, or search parameters and things like that, which are available in your Google Analytics 4 UI directly, where you can just click them and those events starts getting data. Now, mind you, if you want to do customization, you wouldn't be able to do so with this enhanced measurement data, right? So you may rather toggle off those events and not track them directly. And then the third event bucket, which is one of the more heavier, or the most important bucket for any industry, is Google has provided a list of recommended events, just like e-commerce. I think everybody understands that e-commerce will have starting from the product impression, then there is a listing impression, there can be a product add to cart, product purchase, then add to shortlist, remove from cart, and so on and so forth. Like there are 10 to 14 events which Google has categorized for enhanced e-commerce for any e-commerce business, right? Now, this typical events have to be coded, would need data layer implementations, would need a little bit of your developer help, and you would be able to do those tracking. And now finally, the last bucket is all about custom events. Now, what are custom events is basically wherever there is a user interaction on your website, which is not necessarily the functionality of your website. For example, a Cta button. Now, this Cta button is customized because it is not available on all your pages, let's say, right? Or let's say if you have 3 websites, that same Cta button isn't going to be there on all your websites for that matter, right? Or there is a navigation menu. You would want to track the navigation menu today, and tomorrow the navigation menu might change. Now that is all customized based on the requirements of your product managers, based on the agencies, based on the the clients. If you are an agency, now all of this falls under the bucket of custom events, right? Now that I kind of categorically focusing on custom events, because that's where today, if you have to do it, you would need somewhat developers' help, you would need Google Tag Manager's expertise, and you would need obviously the GA4 reporting expertise, right? Now, these 3 things included would help you kind of track any kind of custom events on your website. What are the typical scenarios, if I may see, or I must show you? Let's say your analyst is seeking to validate the accuracy of the data, right? So they would want to do a little bit of preview and debug and just click on an event, see if that event is firing properly or not, the data is getting collected in GA4 or not. Now, for that, they don't need to depend every time on the developers to go back and write a piece of code, do the configurations and things like that. Otherwise, let's take the example of a e-commerce sale, which happens, let's say Black Friday sale, and you have a promotional banner that is going to come up, right, on your website. It was not there previously. Now it's a customized thing that has come up at the last moment. That's tracking falls under a custom event. Marketing team, they come to an agency, like let's say to us, and they say there is a landing page that is coming up. Guys, you have to track the pixels, you have to track the conversions, you have to track the events on this page, and this is a new page. It's going to be a temporary one. You have to do that in the, let's say XYZ short time, right? Well, if you don't have developers and you are a solo website owner or an entrepreneur and your website journey is very basic, let's say it's not very complicated in nature, it's like an e-commerce setup or just a blog, and you need to track XYZ things, let's say the scroll on a website or certain elements on your website which are important for you to understand the engagement, then that also falls under a custom event. And finally, a product team, when they want to run multiple A/B tests, now they would want to tweak Cta buttons. They would want to tweak the color, the form elements, and supposedly a lot of other stuff, right? Now, for them, this is like a custom event. They don't need to go back to developer again and again to do this. Now, having said this, this is the baseline that I wanted to capture here. Like, these are all types of custom events. I know you would be, coming up, or you can come up with other scenarios, but some of the scenarios would definitely hit you while you are basically doing either for yourself or for your clients, right? So an example of a custom event, this is our page, obviously the Tagmate tracker homepage, right? And the add to Chrome CTA. So I would want to track the number of clicks on this button in GFO, right? Now, how would I do that? You must be wondering, how do I do that? Actually, we know not one, but two ways to do that. One is the manual way and one is the automated way. Let's take care of the manual way first, because that's how we'll show you how Tagmate Tracker is better, right? So in a manual custom event tracking method, let's say assume you already have set up your Google Tag Manager and your containers and your workspaces, right? Your step one, these are all technical steps, so I'll not go into details, but basically there are about 6-7 steps where you first create a config tag, then you find out what is this, the click ID or the click class of this particular button manually, obviously, or with the help of your developer, or going to inspect and finding it from your web page, right? And then you create something called a trigger, which is a GTM Google Tag Manager language, which is you create a click trigger within that, right? And you put the ID and the page URL where you want the extension, as in the add to Chrome CTA button to fire. And then step 4 is where you create an event tag, which is a GA4 event tag, right? And if, let's say, with the button, you would want to pass some variable values, which comes from data layers, right? Which is again a technical term, I understand, but let's say you want to track every time somebody clicks on add to Chrome, I want to track what is the ID of that user, right? Or let's say I want to track what is the language of the browser of that user who is clicking on the add to Chrome. Now, for that, you would need to create a data layer variable. You need to add it to the tag and so on and so forth. And finally, you need to preview that. You need to review the tags. You need to publish it, and you start getting your data in GFO, right? Yes, step 2, step 5, and step 6. These are the most tricky parts, because that's where you need a lot of attention. That's where you need a little bit of dependency on your developers. You need to be sure that you are looking at the right set of tags and triggers and variables in your GTM, right? So what did we learn? Very quickly, if I look at the timeline, you wanted to identify the button to track, then you went for your developers, you explained your requirements, they started implementing it, and finally you QA'd them. There were certain errors, and finally it was done for you, right? So the time, you can see the cost, there was the cost of either getting a developer or a freelancer for that matter, and you still had good amount of dependency for them, even for a custom event. So here's what happened. You spent a ton of time flip-flopping with developers. Now, trust me, when we were developing the Tagmate Tracker Chrome extension, there was an incident which happened very recently with me, where I had to go back to the developers each time because I wanted to set a particular automation for our clients, or basically for the Chrome extension, right? So I had to go back to the developers to understand the lingo and understand the terminologies and how to set up the codes and things like that. And obviously, I didn't burn a ton of cash, but yeah, their time, I was basically eating up their time, right? And the dependency was obviously there. And finally, the first version that came out, actually the tags were not really organized, and the Chrome extension was not working, right? Before we were doing our beta testing, right? So then, what's the automated way to do it? That's where Tagmate Tracker comes in. It's the simplest, fastest way to track any kind of custom events into your GA4. And for that matter, we also support universal analytics, but since UA is going to go out, so we are focusing on Google Analytics 4 for the timing. And let me say that we can guarantee that there would be high accuracy, at least more than 95-99% accuracy when you are tracking events through Tagmate Tracker. So like I was saying, it's available as a Chrome extension, so you can search for Tagmate Tracker under Chrome extension tool, the Chrome store, and you can find it as well. So what kind of custom events are we supporting at this point in time? There are Cta Buttons, which is basically all types of Cta Buttons that you can put on your website, right from add to cart to login to start free trial, any kind of Cta buttons, or like the add to Chrome button that we are seeing, right? Then there are form submissions. For every of your contact us forms or subscribe forms, there would be a form that you would be capturing leads. So you would want to track those form submission events, right? And web element clicks. Now, this can be simple promotional banners, like I was giving the example of a Black Friday sale, or it can be a navigation menu and you want to track each of those menu items that are there on the navigation menu, right? And finally, there is impressions. Impressions is more to do with page views or visibility. Now, if you are a blogger and you want to find out how many people have gone through 50% of your website, right? You would want to do a scroll tracking, or you can do some kind of element visibility if there is a certain section that you want to monetize on your blog, right? So for that, element visibility or impression tracking or view tracking is a custom event for you. Now, these are the typical 4 types of events that we do it. You may ask, is this seriously possible? Now, I've been talking too many lingo. Is this actually possible to be done in an automated fashion? What's under the hood for us, right? Under Tagmate Tracker. So we have a powerful DOM CSS selector. Now, I'll showcase what is a CSS selector rather than giving you examples now again, right? Which runs on your website, and you can point, click, and push, just like creating a report on some kind of automation tools, automated dashboards that you can think about, right? Where you drag and drop charts and you are able to create a report, right? And it works with all types of platforms. We have tried and tested and basically stabilized our product to run on Shopify platforms, WooCommerce, WordPress platforms, Magento platforms, any kind of JavaScript based platforms or CMSs that you can find it. The selector or the Tagmate Tracker works on it with breeze. And like I said, there is basically no code, and so it's no problem for us. So somebody like a product manager like me, I find it very easy to kind of use the selector. I don't need to go back every time to my developer to say, I want to track this or that, right? I can do it myself, and I can check the accuracy. If in case I don't find the accuracy, or if I don't find the right data, then I might go and trouble them. So let's try the same add to Chrome button. The steps are just 4 steps, where the first step is, let's say you have already bought the Chrome extension and you have started, you have connected and all of this stuff is done. The first step is to set up a project, which is basically a Tagmate project or for your website, and you connect your GN GTM accounts. You select the type of the event. Now, this is a click event, right? Like the example that we are talking about, the different types of events that we support. So this is a click event, and you use the CSS selector to point at this particular add to Chrome button, just like it's showing as a red colored mark, highlighter. That's how it generally showcases while you use the selector. The step 3 is where, based on your tracking specifications that you have and the best practices that you want to follow, how you want to see the data in GA4. You don't have to worry about your Google Tag Manager and everything, all the other intermediary tools for that matter. Whatever event name that you want to see as a reporting name in GA4, the parameters and the user properties that you want to pass, you can do all the configuration there within a single screen, and that's it. You push the event to GTM, and once you publish the container or preview the container, you can start getting your data in GA4, right? So definitely drum rolls, because that's how easy it can be, where custom event tracking can be when you are using Tagmate Tracker. So in short, if I look at the flow, you identified the events, then you found Tagmate Tracker, and then you tracked everything on your own, and now it's done. So basically the time got reduced, like I would say more than 70-80%. The cost was negligible because of the Tagmate extension. And then there was the dependency, if and only if there is data layers, implementations and stuff. That's where you will have certain dependency on a developer. Otherwise, you could do it on your own, or you could be a little bit dependent on us as well. Don't worry, our support is mind-blowing. Not being proud, or basically I would say I am being proud of my support, that we are able to provide support as and when necessary to our customers and users, right? So to recap, in a way, this was the manual tagging process, right, which was quite long. This was the Tagmate Tracker process. So if I compare both of them, right, so this is like the gap that you can see, the difference in the time, the cost, and the dependency when you're working with Tagmate Tracker, right? I hope this is a deal winner for you, I would say, when you are going ahead with any kind of Google Analytics 4 event setup. Right? What do you say, Swapnil? Do we get
definitely.
to test demo now?
Yeah, definitely. Because Tagmate's Chrome extension is the no-brainer feature of the Tagmate whole suite, right? Because it's one of the shortest, fastest way to track user interaction on your websites with 100% accuracy, whether they are saying 99%, but I would proudly say that it would be 100% with the 100% accuracy, and zero code required, because you don't have to chase your developers to do tagging on your system or to manage the whole GTM or G analytics, right? Because you can do it by your own. No need to learn GTM or GA in depth, right? And implementing UA, that is Universal Analytics, Google Analytics version 4 and GA4, 3 and version 4 on custom events become easier, faster, and more accurate with the Tagmate Chrome extension. Once you install the extension, you can simply open the website that we are going to demonstrate now. Just point to the event trigger. Just select the for example, if you want to track the button clicks, right, you just have to select that button. A system will automatically capture that as an event, and it will be pushed to your GTM, and the whole thing will be tracked. So this is very, very simple, because it works with seamlessly with across all the platforms, including Shopify, WordPress, custom JavaScripts, or custom websites. All you need to do is just to have a GA and GTM, and you're done. Yeah, over to you, Bismay.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks again, Swapnil. Great. So I think we have done enough of talking. Now is the time to show the product, unveil the product, right?
Yeah.
So
it's time to reveal, because we are excited to learn how it works actually, because we are saying that it's a seamless process. You just have to point and click, and everything will be captured inside your GTM. Everything will be managed automatically. No need to go and do a coding manually, right? So we want to know, or just reveal that magic, right? Yeah, over to you, Bismay.
Yeah, sure. I hope the screen is still visible, guys.
Yeah, it's visible. It's visible.
Okay. So this is just a test website. Don't worry, guys. It's an e-commerce website, a WordPress e-commerce website that we're going to use it for the demo. Okay. So this is the Chrome extension on the top right that you can see, right? I have data layer, so I have Google Tag Assistant. I think these are certain other, definite tools or Chrome extensions that everybody kind of uses who is a developer, right? So let me click on this. So, right. So This is the Chrome extension. I have obviously done the the onboarding where I have created the project, right? So kind of to speed up, but yes, you can basically create your project, which is your website link, like tagmatedemo.site is the link of the project, right? That's your website where you want to track your events. So I click on this, and right now my technical team has given me the limit of 20 events that I can track in Universal Analytics and in Google Analytics 4, right? Okay, so for the timing, we'll obviously focus on Google Analytics 4, right? I'll click on Add Event, right? Like I was discussing, that there are multiple types of events. Now each of these events are falls in different buckets. Like a click event is all types of click CTA buttons that are available in a website, while link clicks are something which has a link attached to that particular text or CTA button, which goes out of your website, right? Like something like outbound clicks that you say. Then element visibility, like we were talking about, the particular section that you want to track whether it was visible to the user or not when the user was on your website. Page view, again, this is not something which is required in GFO per se, because it's a by default measurement. But if you have virtual page views that you want to track, that's where page view comes into trigger comes into your help. And finally, custom event. This is one thing that we would be also showcasing. Now this needs a little bit of developers help, because custom events are the events where you have data layers implementations, where you are basically capturing data from the data layer, which has been basically coded by the developer to take fetch data from the server. For example, if you had to track the price of the product, right, from your website, and that data is available only in a data layer. Now the data layer implementation has to be done first, and then you would be able to use the custom event trigger after that. So once the data layer implementation is done, you don't have to worry about it. You can do it on your own. You just need to go back and forth with it, or basically instruct the developer, boss, please get the data layer implementation done first, right? So today, in the next 20 minutes, I will be showcasing three types of events: the click event, the element visibility trigger event, and the custom event, right? So let's get started with the click event. So I click on click this event. You can see this. This is actually what we call as the CSS selector, right? You can see as it moves across the screen, it basically captures anything that is clickable, be it a CTA button, be it an element of your website, be it a logo be it any screen, right? Anything that you would want to see. This is a very powerful selector that works on every type of platforms, CMS platforms, right? So I can just basically click on any of it, and I would be still able to track how many people have clicked on it, or how many people have viewed it, or how many people, let's say if it was a page view or something, then how many people have done a page view, right? So for this click event, let's say I want to track the shop now, which is the most important pivotal click button available on my homepage, right? So I click on shop now. You don't have to worry about all of this. It's all non-editable, obviously. We have taken care of the exact element or the ID that needs to flow into the tracking system, right? So you don't have to worry about it. You can relax. It asks you, the next thing is whether this particular event is on all pages or current page or in specific page. For the timing, I'll just take current page because the URL is going to be this, right? I confirm and save trigger. Now the next thing is once you have the trigger set, or basically you have you know where you want to track, right? You have to configure the tag, right? Just like the manual way, but just here it is more funny, or I would say easy, because you have options. Either you want to send it to your UA or your GFO. For the timing, we'll go to GFO. and there's a little bit of selection, because agencies might have multiple accounts connected to them, right? So they need to select which GTM account and which GA4 account that they want to send this data to, and that's it. They have to do continue. Now, this is the third step that we are talking about, where you have to choose the event name, the parameters, and the user properties that you want to send with this. I have, for my ease of the demo, I have captured some of them already. So I'll just copy paste from them. So the event name is basically Shop Now CTA, right? Yeah. And then there is an event parameter. So the event parameter is click text. So which basically means that whenever this event, click event happens, I want to find out what is the text of the button that got stored or that got collected in GA, right? So the name of the event or the CTA button is Shop Now. So what I can do is I have to just put double braces. It will find out all the variables that are available in your Google Tag Manager container, like click text, click URL, click ID, lots of all of them actually, right? So here, since I want to capture the name of the text or the text of the click button, so I click on this particular click text, right? And then user properties. User properties are basically the scope, user scope related variables, right? For example, user ID. So I would just take user underscore ID, and again here either I can pass a static value or I can pass a dynamic value which comes from a data layer. So I'll click again this, and since the user ID implementation has been done, so I'm able to basically fetch the value dynamically from here. That's it. You have to save your tag. It asks you to save your event. You get a message that your event has been saved successfully. Now, the only thing that you have to do, you have to click on the right, the three buttons. Either you can edit it, or you can push to GTM, or you can delete it. So I'll push to GTM.
Sorry to interrupt you, Bismay, in between. I just wanted to, announce the webinar only offer that we just have cracked with the Tagmate team, that we're going to offer a special webinar only offer because you guys took a time and attending this webinar and learning with me and with Bismay that how you can use the Tagmate Tagmate tracker, right? So the webinar only offer is anybody who purchases any Tagmate plan from pitchground.com during this webinar period, which started at 10 p.m. IST, which will end between 11 or 11:30 p.m. IST, right? So anybody who purchases Tagmate lifetime deal from pitchground.com between 10 p.m. IST, or which is already gone, right? So till the 11:30 IST, p.m. IST, they will be getting a plan A as a giveaway or a gift from our side. After the 60 days of refund period is over. For example, if you bought plan A right now, you will be getting an additional gift code within your account after 60 days is over, right? So this is a special offer that we just cracked for you guys. So just go to pitchground.com/product/tagmate and buy your lifetime deal. You just have to pay one-time fee. No need to pay monthly, yearly, whatever fees that Tagmate is charging on their official website. You can get this amazing tool by paying just one-time fee on pitchground.com. And yes, we are offering a 60 days money back guarantee. Just head over to the pitchground.com/product/tagmate and you will find a Tagmate product over there. And there are multiple plans you can choose as per your requirements, right? So yeah, over to you, Bismay.
Right. Please take, I would say, please take advantage of the offer, right?
Because guys, this is only for you. This is not for the person who has already bought it, or not for the person who is going to buy it in few days or after a week or after a month or after this webinar. This is only for the specific time that what I said is the webinar started time is 10 p.m. IST that we have started, right? So from that starting time till 11:30 p.m. IST. So whoever buys in between these time slots, they're gonna get a gift code from our side, because it's a kind of thank you from our side, from Tagmate's team and Bismay, that you are taking your time aside and joining this webinar, attending this webinar, and listening to us. And that's the thank you that we could say to you, right? And this is only offered to you guys. So just avail this offer. You're gonna get the additional code as a gift code, whatever code, irrespective of code that you're purchasing from pitchground.com, that is plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. So whatever plans you're going for, you will be getting a plan A as a gift code after 60 days of your money. After 60 days of refund period is over, right? So that code will be automatically credited to your account after 60 days. So avail this offer, guys. This is only for you. And thank you so much for joining this webinar. And over to you, Bismay.
Great. Coming back to our demo, yeah. So since this is a webinar only offer, I know it can be a little bit of, confusing whether to buy or whether to check the webinar. Don't worry, you can lose out on some part of the webinar while you can go back and purchase. Let's get to the next type of event.
And don't worry, guys, don't worry. If you're buying now, if you're still, hesitating to buy, or if you're on the fence that whether to buy or not, and you are just running short of time, that, okay, Swapnil has just given the date, timeline is 11:30 p.m. IST, and we do not have that much time. And just don't waste your time, because PitchGround is offering 60 days money back guarantee. Anytime you feel that, okay, this tool is not useful for me, or this tool is not, giving what they are saying, then you can ask a refund. We will not ask any question. It's a no question ask refund guarantee that we are offering. So guys, this is, just don't think, just go head over to pitchground.com and buy the related plan, that whatever you want to buy, right? Plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. I'll gonna explain what includes in each and every plan after this demo. Yeah, over to you, Bismay.
Sure. Sorry, I clicked on that event type, right? So the selector is open again, similar to the first event. Now this is an element visibility, and let's say I am the e-commerce website owner. I want to find out how many people have viewed my featured product section, right? Because that's very important for me, because I'm getting paid from this particular, let's say, brands to feature them in my featured product section, right? So I click on this particular section, which is basically the featured product, right? Again, like I said, you don't have to worry about any of the identifiers there, because it will capture it on its own. Obviously, it is on the current page. Then I go to GA4, like the way I did it the last time, right? And it will ask you to do the basic configuration. And now I am on the last screen, which is the naming conventions of my events and event parameters, right? Now, whatever you fill in this particular screen directly goes into your Google Analytics 4 property, right? I'll again go back and just use my cheat, I would say, for the time being, to make it faster, right? So this is the event name. What is the event parameter? My event parameter is the banner name, right? So this was the banner name, and let's say this is, I take a static value, right? That the name of the banner is featured products. So I want to find out how many people have viewed this particular section, or was it visible or not, right? And the last is user properties. Now I can use the same, that I want to track the user identifiers who basically have viewed this particular section. I save my tag, I save my event, and you can see the event has been saved successfully. So it comes under the created section, while there is already one which was pushed earlier, which was the click event, right? So here again, I go back and I do push to Google Tag Manager, and that's it. That's the work that I had to do literally without writing a single piece of code, right? The last event that I wanted to showcase was a custom event, which is a little bit more complex, right? I click on this custom event, and then it asks me for an event name. The reason why, because here it has to find out which event has data layers implemented. So as a website owner or a product manager, you may or may not know all of this stuff. And that's where you would need to go back to your developer and say that for this, shop now, I want to fire a data layer which gives me the data of the web banner, how many, let's say the text behind it or the URL and stuff like that, right? For today's example, we are going to take the navigation menu as one of the custom events. So here I go back and I again copy this, which is top_nav_menu, which is the event name, right? And then you have to set your trigger. Either you can do it on all types of custom events or some custom events. If you do some custom events, it will open up different set of conditions that are there. Again, a little bit of complexity that can be there. But since this particular navigation, which is like the home, store, main, women, accessories, they are going to be running all the time, right? You don't need any particular conditions because that's there on your header of your website. So you can confirm and save your trigger. You go through the same process again, very quickly jumping to the config tag, and that's it. Now I have to fill my event name. Now this is the same event name that you have basically set in your first screen, right? So I just do Control V. It basically takes care of it, right? So in GFO, it will show how many people have clicked or used or triggered this top_nav_menu event, right? Even in event parameters. Now, since I was talking about data layers. Data layers is basically where the data is sitting on between your website and your server, right? That's a data layer, and you have data that is getting collected from your server every time this navigation menu items gets fired, right? So I'll go back and let me say that I want to find out the user type, right? Is there a space? Okay, you should be mindful of the spaces because it doesn't allow spaces, right? So I want to find out whether the user who was on my website were they logged in users or were they logged out users. Now there is a data layer variable that you have to find out from the list, which is available under the list, right? So dlv_user_type. Now this will obviously be available as an information from the developer because they would have coded behind it. Again, this is a custom implementation only and only if your website is that complex and you want to fire or extract data that is coming from your servers. That's where you would go through this process. Otherwise, the click event or the element visibility or the page view or the link click, that should suffice for your requirements, right? Again, there are a couple of other navigation URL. Let's say I take this as well, and again, just to be mindful of the spaces. No, great. So I want to track how many people or what is the URL once I click on one of the navigation menu items. What is the URL that gets fired from that particular URL, right? And let's say I take another one and I use menu_text, which is basically the button, name of the button or name of the menu item that gets fired, right? Or gets collected. So again, I come here. Obviously, I know this, so it is faster for me. For somebody who's doing it for the first time, along with the help of a developer, it may take a little bit of more time. But once you're acquainted with the data layers that are existing on your website, you can do it in a fraction of, basically an hour or so. You should be able to track the entire website. Again, I'll use the same user ID. And let's say the dlv_user ID, and that's it. I have 3 event parameters that I want to fire as and when the navigation menu button gets clicked, and I want to pass the user ID along with it, right? I save my tag, I save my event, It shows event saved successfully. Now I'm on my created tab and I have to push to GTM. Just wait for a second. The data gets pushed to Google Tag Manager. For you as a agency or a developer, as a product manager, actually the work is done. For somebody who's a reviewer or a developer, yes, they may want to go back and review and check because that's what one should do for QA, right? Before going live. So I have opened my Google Tag Manager and just kept it handy so that I could show you the tags and triggers and variables that were automatically, basically created here. So I just click this. Now you can see 13 minutes ago, I had created a click event. 6 minutes ago, I had created an element visibility event. And a few seconds ago, I created a custom event, right? Similarly, within triggers, if you go there and you can see the triggers that were custom event trigger, the element visibility trigger, and the click trigger, right? If you click on any of the tags, right? Let's say I click on let's say the first custom event tag, it will give you all the details that you basically sent in through your Chrome extension. So your user type, and what's the value, what was the parameter name, and what was the value that you have to capture, the name of the event, the properties, and the trigger, which is basically, again, the trigger that you had created in through your, Chrome extension, right? That's it. That's what you had to do. Now you can submit your container and your data will start flowing in. For everybody, I'll take the next 5 minutes or so. I wanted to actually showcase that the data is getting collected in your GFO. So please bear with me. It's a little bit of technical where you have to go and do a little preview mode, right?
Bismay, sorry to interrupt you. Before we get into that, let me explain the plans and pricing that we are offering on lifetime deal, because might be people get confused, right, by seeing multiple plans. So let me simplify it. So guys, if you go to the pitchground.com/product/tagmate, and you will see the plans and pricing. Let me reiterate for you. So there are multiple plans. So the first plan, the basic plan, starts with plan A. He's already presenting, so you can see it on the screen, right? It would be very easy to understand what I'm explaining is. So the plan A offers okay, so the pricing is $99 for lifetime. No need to pay monthly, yearly, or any fees. You just have to pay one-time fee, and you can get this amazing tool, amazing suite of Tagmate, right? So in the plan A, we are offering 5 websites or projects and UA and GA for implementation, unlimited Google Analytics tag migration from UA, that is GA3 to GA4, 20 standards event tracking templates per website, and 20 marketing pixel setup per website, and 50 custom events tracking per website, and all the features and updates to the Tagmate basic plan for lifetime, right? Then we have another plan, that is plan B, $349 for lifetime, in which we are offering 20 websites or the project, a UA and GA for implementation, and you can see the rest of the features on the screen itself. Then we have a plan C that is $499 for lifetime, in which we are offering 50 website projects implementation. Then if you want to go for the unlimited one, because if you are a marketing agency or a freelancer, or you're working for multiple clients and you want to track multiple websites, or you want to service multiple clients, in that cases you can go for this ultimate plan, that is plan D, $799 for lifetime, in which we are offering unlimited websites and projects, unlimited Google Tag Analytics and tag migration from GA3 to GA4, unlimited standard events. Everything is unlimited basically, right? So this is an insane and no-brainer deal for you, because we are offering unlimited websites and projects in this plan. You just have to pay one-time fee, that is $799 for lifetime. No need to pay monthly, yearly, nothing like that. And from pitchground.com, we are offering a 60 days money back guarantee. Whenever you feel like, okay, this tool is not for me, this tool is not working properly, or if in that case, you can obviously reach out to the Tagmate
Yeah.
support if you are facing any issues, because the team is very solid, team is very supportive. You can reach out to them, they will onboard you if you face any technical difficulties, like system is not capturing the data, or system is failing somewhere, or if you found any bug, just report to them. They will solve it as soon as possible. In few cases, like few of the customers have reported few of the issues, right, and they were able to solve it within 5 minutes. So that much strong team they have, and they are very, very active on the customer support and customer success, guys. So no need to worry, team is strong, the company is strong, and every member of the company, the Bismay, is very, very passionate about the Tagmate suite, right? So this is a no-brainer deal that you are getting from pitchground.com. Just head over to pitchground.com and you can choose the plan, like plan A $99, plan B $349, plan C $499, and plan D, that is the ultimate and insane deal you can get from pitchground.com. That is plan D, unlimited lifetime licenses. You can attach unlimited websites, you can service unlimited. See, guys, in the market there are many GTM experts, right? They are charging thousands of dollars, right? They are just for tracking and implementing tags, they are charging $1,000, $2,000. And here you're just paying $799 for lifetime. It's just a plug and play tool, right? No need to go and scratch your head, no need to go and chase your developers, no need to go to GTM or GA experts, right? You can do it by yourself. It's just very, very simple, because simple UI, easy to use, and they have multiple templates built in. So no need to code anything, just select the appropriate template as per your requirement, just plug and play, that's it. Every data will be tracked automatically, and you can push that data to GTM, right? So why I'm emphasizing this plan, because it's a no-brainer plan. You're just paying $799 for lifetime, and you're getting unlimited websites, projects, implementation for your life. Just get an example, right? You're charging $500 just to push or just to migrate data from UA, that is GA3 to GA4, and you're charging $100 or $200, $300 from the customer, right? And you're paying $799. That the ROI, just measure the ROI. Within 2-3 clients, you can get your money back, right? So this is a very good plan, very good in the sense, very insane plan, no-brainer plan. You just have to go and buy it. Don't think because we are just offering this lifetime deal from pitchground.com. And I wanted to tell you that there are very limited licenses, because we cannot offer unlimited to everyone, right? So that's the reason we have very, very, very limited licenses, and only few licenses left, maybe get over within a week or within 2 weeks, right? So just don't think, just don't scratch your head, go and buy plan D, that is $799 lifetime. Once the basic course or the basic set of course are over, we are going to increase the price by $300 or $400. So if you're thinking to buy in the next month, or after a few days, or after a few weeks, then you will find this plan might have got increased, right? So that's the reason. Just save your money and go for the plan D, that is $799 for lifetime, unlimited website, and start servicing your clients. Start freelancing career, because if you know how to use GTM, how to use Google Analytics, and if you want to go into a pro state, right, buy this software. With this software, you can do that, because it's a simple to use tool, right? Just plug and play, and you can start servicing your client, because people out there are charging huge fees. Those who are working on Google Analytics or setting up Google e-commerce setup, right? And those who are working in Google Tag Manager, they are charging huge fees, guys. So that's it from my side, and over to you, Bismay. You can continue showing the data.
Sure. And by the way, for Plan C and Plan D, we also have some support hours, not just saying for that matter, because we would definitely support if you buy Plan A or Plan B. But for Plan C and Plan D, we have a bucket of hours that we are going to dedicate in terms of, let's say, auditing your account or the tags that you have tried to fire via your Tagmate applications or your Chrome extensions. We'll be there in terms of servicing as well, right? So don't worry about it. You can go ahead and make a decision on your purchases. Yeah.
Okay, one small announcement. Sorry to interrupting you again and
Yeah,
again. Yeah, one small announcement, guys. I know it's you're running short of time, and we announced this webinar only offer after a few minutes of the webinar. So what we are doing is we are extending this offer till 12 p.m. Sorry, 12 a.m. Means what we announced is 11:30 p.m. IST. So we are just extending this offer by 30 minutes. So if you're on the fence, if you want to, just manage your credit cards and whatever PayPal accounts and all that stuff, right? So you can do that in this way, because I can see only 15 minutes are left if we consider the previous offer that is 11:30 p.m. IST. So we are just extending. And guys, if you're buying after 12 a.m., right after that 30-minute extension period, we are not going to help you. We are not going to give you that offer, because it's only time restricted offer, and just go and grab your offer. Yeah, over to you, Bismay.
great. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the sales speech. Great. Okay, so I wanted to kind of, before we wind up, I just wanted to show you how actually the tag gets fired, even though you don't need to know all of this for that matter. If you preview, basically it opens up, the preview mode of your tag assistant, right? And this is the website that has opened up. And we had tagged three things, right? So what I'll do is I'll click on shop now, because that was the event that we were, the click event that we wanted to track. So I clicked on shop now. So you can see there is a tag that got fired at once, right? So basically that means your implementation is successful. So you don't have to worry about it. All the data that is going to, flow into your click event, that will be available here. So you can see, if I click on names and then you click on values, you can see there is a user ID that got fired from the data layer. The click text was shop now. It was a dynamic, if you remember, it was a dynamic click text that was sent. So if for tomorrow, let's say, you, in place of shop now, you had the name of the text changed to, let's say, buy now, it would have captured it without you doing any change to your implementation, right? So the event name and the configuration tag all is available. You want to go and check in your analytics? Let's do that very quickly. This is your GFO. You have to go to configure. You have to go to your debug view, because this is a real time that you are looking at the data, right? And you can see at 11:14 p.m. IST, I can see shop now Cta button, or basically event has been fired, right? And the click text that I was passing was the shop now. And obviously there are other the GTM GFO built-in events that got fired. And under the user properties, I can find user ID has been passed as well. So basically your data is now safe and secure and accurately collected in your Google Analytics, right? That's what you had to do. Now let's try the next event. If you remember, I had an element visibility or a section visibility for my featured products, right? So as I scroll to featured products, now let's go back and check whether this event has basically fired or not. I come back here, and you can see there is an element visibility that tag is fired as well. So that means the implementation is successful, and you can again find out the user ID, the event parameter, which was the banner name, which was featured products. If you remember, this was the name of the banner that I had to, I was passing it, right? So let's go back to GA again, and you can see there is an event which has come out at 11:16, right? You click on that and you click on banner name. This is the value that you would see in your Google Analytics 4, right? And similarly, the user properties, you will get the user ID. All the data that you had to track in terms of element visibility is available in your GA4 right now. The last event that we were showcasing was basically one of the menu clicks, right? So that was built on the store, let's say out of this navigation menu, I click on store, right? And the data layer has been implemented by your website, by your developer, right? Or don't worry, in Tagmate, we are actually coming up with another feature where it automates the creation of data layers as well to an extent. Obviously, it would need a little bit of developers' help because data layers are meant to be technical in nature, the codes. But we are making it a lot more easier, and these updates obviously are going to be added to your lifetime deal purchases that you are doing without any additional cost. So don't worry about it. So here I'm going to click on store, right? And this is the store button, right? So I go back again, and let's see whether this is obviously the other screen, right? So you can see the top underscore nav underscore menu. Remember, that was the event that I wanted to fire, right? So that has been fired successfully as well. And if you click here, you can see the user properties where user ID has gone, the user type. Obviously, I am a non-logged in user. I haven't logged into my website. So it has been able to capture that whether I was a logged in or non-logged in based on the data layer implementation. The URL was tagmatedemo.site. Now this is the particular URL, right? Once I clicked on store, it landed me to this particular URL, and now that has got captured in my event parameters values. And the menu text was stored because that was the CTA or the button, menu item button that I clicked. Now all of this is available or basically firing successfully. Let's go back quickly to analytics and see if the fire has been done. At 11:18, I can see the top navigation menu and has been successfully, fired and collected in my GA4. I go to, the event parameters. Now menu underscore text was one of the event parameters. Nav underscore URL was another event parameter that I fired, and user type was the last one, where the values have been automatically collected based on the tracking that I'd done. Again, user ID was obviously there. So in short, like we were showcasing, using just the Chrome extension, right, from here, you were able to successfully track all these 3 types of events into your GFO, maybe with a little bit of code that we needed for the data layer. Otherwise, you could have done it without anybody's help, just like I did it, right? Yeah. So that's much about the demo. I think once you visit PitchGround's website and purchase the product, you would go through the onboarding phase, and after that, you will have this product at your disposal where you can start using it for your website or your client's websites. And please feel free to kind of check each and every feature that is available. You would get all your settings available here, what type of GTM events that you have, what are the Universal Analytics account or connected, or your Google Tag Manager account, GA4 accounts that you have connected. Now, all of this data would be available for you so that you can basically add or link multiple accounts, or you can change or switch between accounts. Everything is possible through this settings function. Obviously, there is another, all of this data that is available, it would be visible in a dashboard as well. Now you can see this particular dashboard where we see that 3 events have been pushed. And once you publish this container, obviously it will come as a status of published. And I have created 1 project this month. And yes, basically all the details of my project would be available within this, right? So what are the events? What was the trigger? When did I create? What was the details? All of it, like basically all of the data would be available here, right? So let's get back to our presentation. Hope the demo was as interactive as we thought, right? So what's the future of Tagmate? I'll take just next 5 more minutes. I think we'll wrap up. I just wanted to say that in the last, Q2 of 2021, when we launched back in October, from since then, actually Q3 of 2021, when we actually launched with our product after the initial phase of 4-5 months of development, we have now crossed 800 plus user base. Now that's a validation that our products are being helpful for the businesses, for the agencies, where they would need a no code or a low code automation tool for their website implementations, right? We reached 100 users just on the eve of 31st December, so it was a wonderful gift for all our team members, right? And our extension got launched somewhere in February, so it's about like 4 or 5 months now since we have gone live with the Chrome extension, and we're getting heavy critical feedback and improve suggestions and kudos, actually, so to say, that this product is there on the charts of low code implementation, in the space of low code no code implementation space. Certain testimonials, thanks Gideon again, where he says conversion tracking was made easy with Tagmate. Brandon says that it's like in every software, it has been designed for universal analytics or Google Tag Analytics. So it's one of the better softwares there. Krish, Brandon, and a couple of other people's, they love our app. So I hope you would love once you purchase it and start using it as well, right? Don't worry about the support. Like I was saying, our support is there and to help you out in case of any discrepancies or issues that you might face. This is how our product roadmap looks like. Like I was saying, our vision is quite ambitious. We are looking at server-side tagging, where we would be supporting server-side implementations for Facebook's, Google's, and a lot of other marketing platforms as we go along. Then tag monitoring, which is essentially to do with the example that you saw, right? I did fire or created 3 set of tags or events in GFO. Now you would want to know whether the data that is getting collected in GFO is accurate or not, whether the tag implementation that you have done is accurate or not. Now that monitoring needs to be in place. At this point in time, obviously, if you are doing it via Tagmate, you can guarantee a good amount of accuracy. But let's say if it was a tag that you had done by a third party, and you want to check whether this tag has been successfully implemented or not, that's where this module will come into picture. Audit, yes, this is a big requirement. How do you automate the implementation or audit of your existing setup so that you know when to and what to go for your next set of tracking events in your GFO or any of your Facebook ads or the Google ads for that matter. Data layer validation, again, something to do with, like I was talking about, automating the creation of your data layers and validating them up to an extent which can help your developer with an exact typical code schema, which they can reuse it and they can customize it as per your website requirements. And finally, more and more web marketing platforms, like I was talking about, the first party data tracking system. So universal system where we can make it an assistant to all sorts of first party data collections, right from Snapchat, TikTok, HubSpot, and a lot of other platforms that collects any kind of first party data for you, right? So yeah, that's about it. The lifetime deal, I think that's where Swapnil had already shared. Swapnil, do you want to take it forward from here again? Yeah.
No, it's been already discussed. So we can head over to the Q&A section. So we got so many questions over there, so we can pick up one by one.
Great.
Okay.
Questions. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. So here, the first question, I don't know the name because it's anonymous attendee. Okay, they don't want to show their name. Okay, all right. So having a difficult time transferring our existing custom events and goals into GA4 property, we are currently use a Google Tag Manager to fire these events. Uh, I think so. He's seeking for an assistant or some kind of tips and tips how to improve that.
Yeah, please reach out to your support, or you, if you purchase this product, or Swapnil was mentioning, you will get access to our support hours, right? And we would be happy to help you out with your existing implementation and how we can kind of automate it in your future requirements as well. Like I was saying, custom events comes up with scenarios. Different types of scenarios. If you're a product manager, if you're a marketing manager, if you're an agency, if your client has come up with a new landing page and you have to, or there's a banner sale that has to go live. So those kind of typical events, you would need something like a low-code, implementation platform, and that's where Tagmate extension can help you. Yeah. So please reach out to us, or or once you purchase, definitely you can connect with us. Yeah.
All right. So the next question is, can we have several users or admins, for example, one for one website or second person for the website, second website? So that's the question coming in.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, for Plan D, actually, we are going to come up with an agency feature, which is basically where you can set up more user roles in terms of admins and editors and read-only, just like something similar to Google Tag Manager. Please stay tuned. It is going to go live in August. Before the end of August, I would say. We are already in development phase for that. Yes, you will have access to the exact requirement that you have. Yeah, you can add more admins and you can add more users as long as your plan basically suggests. Yeah, as in limits.
All right, all right. So the next question is coming from the limit of websites. Can it replace with the new website after I delete the previous one?
Yeah, this is a honest question that comes up, I guess, sometimes, right? Like we were mentioning, like this is the short answer is obviously no. That the counter gets stored every time you add a website or you add a user. It basically mentions that you have used up or you have consumed that particular project or the website, right? So project basically means website in Tagmate. But please feel free to upgrade your plans, or we'll have smaller, shorter packages as well. But if you are an agency, then definitely $7.99 is something that you should choose for. Then where because there's no limit on the number of websites, right? Or you can take the plan C, which is again which has a 50 websites. I think that should be good enough for a smaller agency as well, right? So yeah. But like I said, the website counter is going to increase every time you add a new website.
All right. So the next question is coming like, what's the difference between Tagmate versus Hockey Stack? So I'll explain. Okay, you can add on, obviously, Bismay. So Hockey Stack is a kind of replacement of Google Analytics. It tracks your information. It's like a Google Analytics only, but in a different UI, with a different UI, and it's a no-code solution because I'm using personally Hockey Stack. Okay. And Tagmate works with Google Analytics and GTM. It's not the replacement. It's not a tracking tool. It is a, I can say it works with, further step, right? So for example, if you're using a GTM, but managing tags and implementation of every segment on GTM is very difficult. So there the Tagmate comes into the picture, right? So Tagmate is a helping hand for you to implement all this with a no-code solution without hassle of, going to your developer, without putting more money, or without hiring a specialist or Google Analytics or GTM specialist. You can do it by yourself with the help of Tagmate suite, with the help of Tagmate tracker and the SaaS tool application, right? So this is not a replacement or alternative of Google Analytics. It doesn't track anything. It helps you to have the tracking mechanism in place. It helps you to track accurately. It helps you to facilitate everything without any hassle, without putting any money, or without hiring any developers or the experts in that case. I hope that answers your question. Okay, so the
Yeah,
next
just a quick
question.
add-on. Yeah, just a
Yeah,
quick
yeah, yeah.
add-on. Just to mention that we do not store any data, just like any other third-party platforms that you might see. Okay, so we are compliant with all the GDPR and CCPA and different types of policy, privacy policies, because we understand the importance of privacy of user data. So we don't collect any of the end user data. We are just Swapnil rightly mentioned, we are a tracking enabler or a tracking assistant, where we just facilitate and the data gets passed into your Google Analytics like the way used to do prior to that. We don't store, process any of the end user data at any point in time. Maybe Hockey Stack does that. There are a couple of other third-party plugins that you would find on the marketplaces like WordPress Marketplace or Shopify plugins. They actually store, process the data, and then and then report on it possibly. But we don't do any kind of that exercise, right? So we don't have a reporting per se, just like Google Analytics. We enable that the data gets sent into your destination platforms, whether it's GA, whether it's Google Ads, whether it's Facebook ads, and things like that. Yeah.
All right, all right. So the next question is coming like, can we use Tagmate for one side and then for another, and it will count only one? Uh, so it's been already answered, right? So the plans and pricing are defined for the particular website or particular project. So once you have used that project or the number of websites inside your inside your lifetime account, and if you want to delete or add anything, so it will not work in that case. If you have the higher number of requirements, if you want to go for the unlimited, we have that plan. And if you are an agency, so you must buy that plan, and that's it. Yeah, all right. So the next question is coming from I think so it's the same question asked by Jordi. So Jordi is again asking, which is the URL of Google Analytics alternative? I didn't get that. I think so you're asking for the hockey stack. Let me send you that. All right, so these are the questions that we got it for today. Guys, if you have any questions related to the plans and pricing that we are offering on a lifetime deal, and if you have any questions regards to the tool that is Tagmate app or the Tagmate tracker, please shoot out your questions inside the Q&A sections. We would be happy to answer your all all questions and doubts, or anything that you have in your mind. And guys, do not forget to do not miss out on the webinar only offer that we announced in this webinar only, that whatever plan you're buying, for example, if you bought plan A before 12 a.m. IST, you will be getting a plan A as a gift code after 60 days of refund period is over, right? If you're buying plan B, same, you'll be getting a plan A. If you're buying plan C, you'll be getting a plan A. If you're buying plan D, you will be getting plan A. So whatever plan, irrespective of any plan you're buying, now you will be getting plan A as a gift, as a thank you, courtesy from our side, because you're attending this webinar, you are listening to us. Some of you have already, they are skipping their meals and they're watching us, right? And that's the biggest thing for us, and that's the reason we are saying thank you for everyone to attend this. You are attending this webinar, and that's the thank you thing that we are giving away in this webinar. So, and one more thing that I wanted to highlight is your gift code would be credited to your account after 60 days. Right. So once the refund period is over, then only you will get the refund, the gift code. So if you have any questions related to the refund or related to the plans and pricing, you can always anytime write us to our support, that is support@pitchground.com, and you can reach out to Tagmate team. They are helpful, they are very much active, they will help you out to understand the product, they will onboard you, they will help you out to walk through you on all the all the features of Tagmate app. And guys, if you have any questions before we wrap up, we'd be happy to take all your questions. Okay, so the next question is coming from Jordi only. So can we use Tagmate? Okay, so I think so we answered all this question. I will just repeat it. Okay. All right, guys. So I think so. No more questions. Okay. So Matson is asking, how do we add our code to our Tagmate account? I think so. If you're asking the gift code, so the gift code would be credited to your PitchGround account. So you will see the purchases section under the PitchGround account. If you're logged in, you will see the purchases section, and you will see all the purchases that you made through the pitchground.com, and that code, the gift code, the plan A code will be credited to your account after 60 days. It will be visible after 60 days. All right. And if you're asking how to redeem the code, if you have already bought the code and if you want to know how to redeem it, once you bought, you will get an email as well as you will see that on the purchases section, the redemption process is mentioned there. You can follow that redemption process. And if you're not getting anything, you can reach out to pitchground.com supports, right? support@pitchground.com. You can shoot an email to us and you can reach out to the Tagmate team. They will help you out in terms of onboarding. All right, guys. So I think so. No more questions. And guys, we are done for this webinar. Let me check any questions are coming in or not. I think so. No questions. Do you have anything to share, Bismi, before we wrap up?
No, I think let's help you track GA4. Let's help you track your conversion tracking for your Google ads and pick, your Facebook ads campaigns for your clients, for your websites in an automated fashion with our support. I think you could do it at a fraction of your costs and your fraction of the time that you would have ideally invested in. So let's do this together and make the world a better place. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, guys. Guys, save yourself from all the hassles and save up to 80% of your cost and time by using Tagmate Suite. Claim your lifetime deal before it runs out, because once the deal is over, you are not going to get a lifetime deal again. You just have to pay the monthly subscription fee to Tagmate, right? So this is the ultimate chance to get a lifetime deal from pitchground.com. And guys, thank you so much, Bismay, for taking your precious time out and sharing some valuable information and demonstrating the tool. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. We'll be seeing you in the next webinar. Till the time, take care, be happy, keep improving 1% every day. Have a good day all.
Hey, sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, everybody.